Storytelling Ron here. Icewind Dale's Rime the Frostmaiden. Easthaven. It's going to be about Easthaven, but it's going to be about how I am DMing it, how I've changed it to fit the way I want things to unfold. And remember, you got to do what excites you as a DM. Okay, you don't just follow the campaign and you're trying to fit it and you're kind of getting frustrated or whatever. Do it the way you want to do it. Okay, I'm going to explain. I'm going to go do a basic overview of what Easthaven and the original stuff is, but I'm going to tell you how I changed it to fit how I DM or how I want this world to be. And I'm turning it into a very gritty, dark, sad world. I mean, plenty of humor amongst us players, but the story is very dark. You know, two years of winter dread. Everyone's starving. It's bad. It's the road. I mean, it's bad. It is not like a Harry Pottery, because a lot of the stuff, the material, kind of has a happy dappy, oh yeah, we're open for business kind of feel to it. And I'm like, yeah, no one's open for business. They're desperate for food and stuff. So just a quick overview, and I'm going to also explain kind of how I do things in Roll20. So, for instance, I got the lighting down like this. If you can show you the map of the characters, and I just fixed this one. They would see it in the bright. It's kind of odd that they made the maps all bright and sunny when it's never bright and sunny in this campaign. They should have made it like darker or whatever. Anyway, whatever. But the lighting in Roll20 I'm using, and this is their sort of twilight. This is what they see at twilight. I did this for all the maps except for this big map of the area, which I've been using quite a bit for the players. But I just did it now to reminded myself to do it. But this is kind of how you would see during the twilight, during the one period. So obviously this is the map, and then when you click on the characters and you Control L, you can kind of see. And then of course I wish there was a way to stop that. Anyway, so then you can move them around and they see, but I can't, of course. If anyone out there knows how to see, I can't get. There are some issues with Roll20 for sure. I want to just move the guy without stretching him, but it's so zoomed in because of the map, and I increased the size of these maps too. There we go, and you can see how the lighting is. It follows the character. Let me just make them smaller again. This is going to be a problem during the game when I want to move them, but also want to check out their lighting. It's better in the close-up maps, but because of this map is fully stretched out or zoomed in, it's harder. Anyway, how did I do the lighting for these guys? So you turn dynamic lighting on, you give the character vision and night vision. I use night vision a lot, not for night vision, just for their able to see in the dark vision, like a certain distance. And I'm using the night vision here for the tokens to see up to 10 miles during twilight, during their daytime travel. And I always put it to dimming, and I always do like a gray or black for the dimming. I notice when you try to use other colors, it gets really weird. The mixing of colors around the edges. And then I try to get the smallest dimming start right up to the token, so as close as I can, whether it's in feet or miles or whatever. So that way it's a nice, you got that nice gradation of light going to dark. And so, so they can see out for quite a ways. What's funny though, in the game, I made this journey 3 days from Bryn Shander to Easthaven, when really it's only, I just did the grid and realized, it's only like, 12 miles. I just forgot. I know they give you distances in the game and all that. And it just kind of slipped my mind for many sessions. And so I made the scale of this way bigger, but whatever, that's fine. They had some fun encounters, and I played up the whole winter challenges, a lot of DC survival saves for winter stuff, just to make winter a villain in this as well, an encounter as well, dealing with the winter. Anyway, so they're on their way to Easthaven from Bryn Shander, and just a quick overview. They've pretty much gone around to all the 10 towns of around Mayor Duldan, and they've actually done good meat in Dugan's Hole, and then went to Bryn Shander. And I made them basically liberate each town from a Frostmaiden. I call them the Druids or Frostmaidens of the Frostmaiden. They understand the difference. And they've had to deal with that or some other issues in those areas. And I've sort of made it focused where Auril and the Frostmaidens are trying to go to each town and basically kill off everybody through sacrifice or whatever, any way that they want to, are willing to die off in starvation. Bryn Shander was one of the worst. They were doing sacrifices. They're sending them down 10 trails, to go to escape. But of course, they know that Auril and the Frostmaidens know that they'll get abducted, kidnapped by the goblins, the kobolds, the goblins, the gnolls, and the crazed barbarians. They enslave them in their mines to get the Chardalyn. So to me, the Chardalyn is all down there in the mines. The poor people are getting enslaved and killed and sacrificed. So this is dark, gritty. That's the way I did it. I wanted to really get the essence of this 2-year winter dread desperation thing going on. And so they've been going around to all the towns, killing or defeating the Frostmaidens and their cults, and getting the people to kind of shore up their defenses, get some food from the lakes, get some hope back. And so now they're coming to this side of the last 3 towns to liberate them. And it's funny is they didn't really necessarily know that they're going to liberate every town, and I didn't know that either. But that's kind of the way it's been playing out, and it's been a lot of fun, I think, for me. And when I can get those players to show up, and if you want to watch my video, I have a playthrough of it, that you can watch. My wife's printing something out over there. Okay, so now they're in Easthaven now, so I'm going to go to that map. Well, in a minute, but I want to explain that I move things around. I move encounters. I take things out based on what I want, and I just want to. For instance, Easthaven has the town hall where it has the demonic statue and then the ghost woman, and then all the rooms in there, and then you're supposed to encounter the Dwargor in there that are going to burglarize the statue, get all the Chardalyn off of it, and then but then there's also the ghost that can possess them, and it possesses one of them, and then walks into the lake and drowns herself. So there's that encounter in there, which I completely took out, and mainly because, not mainly, but I didn't like it particularly, and I really found the town hall to be useful at Bryn Shander. I moved the town hall to Bryn Shander, took out the demon, and used it for the Torg merchants. The guys going around with the Sepher at the very beginning who has the ice knives, and he's really tough. I was like, I'm not going to have him encounter them at the beginning. I'm going to have them in Bryn Shander. They're doing their, they're getting all their sacrifices, and they're using the bodies and then using them for Auril to give as gifts to the cults. So cannibalizing them. Anyway, I took the town hall and moved it over there and used it for that. And I took out the ghost thing. I don't know. I just wasn't into it. So also I took out the Dwargor thieves. No, I didn't take them out. I moved them. And the reason I moved them is because obviously the Sunblight is down here somewhere. Oh, I even moved Idescendant, but I did that earlier. The Sunblight is down here, right? So they're getting all the Chardalyn, in my view, from the mines or from finding them around this area, and not necessarily from stealing it in the towns. I just don't think the towns are going to hold Chardalyn because it's dark and evil and all that. I'm putting the Dwargor outpost, which I believe is, it was up in Karakirnig, and I moved it to down here in the mountains. It's going to be over here, and the Dwargor are going up into Easthaven, and they're just stealing stuff, and they're haunting Easthaven, and I'll get into that in a minute. So that's part of that adventure. Why am I moving things around? Because I want it to fit, I want it to make sense with where things are geographically, where things are, who's doing what, why, and for what reason. I just don't think Chardalyn's going to be in the towns. I don't think the people are going to accept that, except there is some care in Caer Dineval because of the cult there, but I'll get that later. And in Karakirnig, I put the cauldron the Hague with the cauldron up in this remote area over here. I thought that would be good over there and not near Easthaven, because I want Easthaven to have its own focus, and I don't want too many different things going on there that distract from the things that they got to do. I don't want them to have 5 different issues. I want them to have like 1 or 2 to deal with, not 5. And then they're like, you don't want the characters to get so many things that they're just confused and they don't know what to do. You want them to really have 1 or 2 paths on a road, and that's it. And then they can decide then which way they want to go. I mean, and another thing is in here they have they have the wet trout and the white lady in 2 different like places they can go, and then in both of those places they can get different rumors, right? Different information. And in the White Lady Inn is the whole possession seance type of thing where they can get, rumors of things happening. I don't want it to get too out of hand. I want them to like know about specific things they can do and not have a list, a potpourri of quests. And a lot of these quests would then go where they have to go way out. I want them to have things in Easthaven that they got to do. And let me show you now Easthaven on Roll20. Now in Easthaven, I love town adventures, and I want to use these maps. I don't want them to go there and then not use the maps. I want there to be things going on in the town that they got to go sneak around at. So I also will show you the lighting I did for this. I turned on the dynamic lighting, and this is how they see the map of Easthaven. Okay. Now, these are like the few lanterns being used in the town because they're trying to conserve energy or whatever. And over here, I don't like this green color, but it's the color I used on the fire, and I used yellow, but it just doesn't look good. I'm going to go back to orange and just make it orange like the rest of it. I could. It's already multiplied up. Or I could dim these ones so they look a little less strong. Well, they are dimmed. Let me see if that makes a difference. Nope. Weird. Anyway, so what's going on here? So when they don't have their sleds, but it's over here in the corner. They had to leave them because their dogs died from a wild magic thing. Anyway, so this is the characters. They're at the inn now. They're deciding what to do. And today we're going to be playing again. And they already know what they're going to do. So I'll explain that. So here's the map that I see. They came in this way. They saw how the wizards get burned, or the one wizard, Zan or whatever gets burned, whatever his name is. Well, I changed it to Macradius from the Black Cabin because I wanted them. They're now being introduced to the Wizard Arcane Brotherhood thing, and that's here in Easthaven, and now they're 5th-ish level. And there's a Frostmaiden here, and they're burning this body, and she got the people to capture the wizard, and now he's burnt. And the reason they burned him is because she has been sacrificing the bodies, or freezing sacrifices up here on the hill here to appease Oral, and the town has accepted that. So there's frozen dead bodies up here, but this whole area is, what a nerd, I'm just explaining everything. This whole area for me is the Dwargar haunting this area. Now they won't bother the Frostmaiden or the people when they come here because they have an alliance. But afterwards, when she leaves, then the Dwargar go around haunting. They're basically burglarizing, and they have a mind master. So he's using his mind mastery to make them attack each other. Because you can make them have an impulse attack, which can kill poor little civilians. So they're all afraid. They've all evacuated this area, and that's where the speaker is sad. He's depressed. He's accepted the Frostmaiden and the sacrifices and the Winter Dread. But if they could do anything for him, go over here and see what's going on with this ghost. There's a ghost haunting the area and making people go crazy. So that's the mystery they have. But the Dwargar, there's like 4 of them. Now I got them right here in the little. You can see them here. Let me just turn my GM up. Okay, so I have them here, and they're literally just hanging out in these little buildings, and eating the food, whatever food is in there, taking whatever trinkets and basically they're stealing and they're burglarizing, and they'll murder anyone that comes around. With the mine master here. Um, so that's what's going on with those guys, and they're going to use I'm going to use all their mysterious powers of invisibility and the mine master to really kind of haunt and scare the players as best I can in this next session, because that's where they're coming, because they know about the sacrifices, and everyone just talks about it. Yeah, we have oral saves and preserves, where she freezes them to death. There are sacrifices, and they're all on this hill here. The reason they killed the wizard is because he came over to the hill and was taking the bodies as a necromancy to make, he needed some slaves to go back to the Black Cabin. So that's how I'm going to tie in the Black Cabin, is that he needed them to go help him work on whatever he's working on there. And Zahn, the apprentice, is over there. Not a simulacrum, but just an apprentice wizard. I took out the simulacrum thing. And they're going to if they go to the Black Cabin, they'll discover that they tried to make something and he died, but anyway. And they're going to meet Vel. Okay, so she's in hiding because she saw what happened to Macradius, Valine here, and she's got her undead. But she's in hiding. She knows she's hiding over here, and she may, if she can encounter the players, she will, and kind of warn them that there are some, she believes, Dwargar in the area. And then she's going to tell them about the Black Cabin, and that she wants to go there to find out what's going on. So I'm going to make her part of the story. I don't want her to tag along for very long. I got to figure that out. I don't like NPCs tagging along. I don't like to play the villains and then an NPC, and then there's 4 or 5 players. I don't like to do that. So I'll figure out something. I haven't figured that out yet. But anyway, I better do that because we're playing soon. But I'm introducing the Arcane Brotherhood as it's broken up now, even in the original story. So, but she's going to be here doing her thing to ally with them or something, or maybe she I don't know, gotta do something crazy and evil. Maybe she attacks them and tells them, I don't know, I really haven't figured that out yet. Anyway, but that's the main gist of this story. Now, whether they're going to take out the Frostmaiden, I'm going to make it, I'm not going to make it another cult fight where they have they've already had quite a few skirmish battles with cult members in towns. I'll probably just make the Frostmaiden summon some evil stuff and they can fight her there. Even though they just recently fought some cold light walkers and some frost giant skeletons. Should I have her summon? I think she's got to summon something else, something a little more crazy. That I got to figure out today. So that's another fun thing that they'll encounter. And once they do that, right, they're going to either go to the Black Cabin, or they're going to go where the dwarves came from, the Dwargor outpost. Or they are going to have some other options here. Or they're going to be intrigued by the Caer Dineval and Caer Koenig, because I know they've been wanting to go there. So that's what I'm doing for Easthaven. I know Easthaven has a lot of stuff in the original content, but again, I felt like some of it, like I felt like it was confusing. They had the 2 inns where you got a bunch of different random kind of quests that you could do, and I don't want them. I want them to be geographically located around Easthaven, and I want them to be something that they've already thought about or connected to what they're doing. So I decided to keep it more close to what they're doing. Sorry, I'm reading the thing here. So the poltergeist seance thing is pretty good, actually. Now that I look at the things, there are only 3 and they're very localized. So that's fine. But I don't need them to do a seance to do it. They're going to encounter this stuff and know they want to go there. But anyway, I mean, I'm not dogging this. I'm just, as you go along, and there's so many puzzle pieces, fit it the way you want, right? Fit it the way you want. Fit it the way that excites you. So I'm not trying to criticize what's in the book at all. They've obviously created a wonderful setting, a wonderful campaign to go on. But there's so many pieces and moving pieces that you as a DM need to fit it the way you want to, the way it works for you. And for me, I look at the map of something and I like to fit it according to the map and where I think they're going to be going. And so I love the idea that they could be going south to deal with the Dwargar and the mines. Right, this is going to be I'm going to make them encounter the mines because the Dwargar are in direct relation with the mine with the gnolls because they need the Chardalyn. So there's going to be some info there about the mines. And one of the characters' backstories, I don't know, it's so far out here, but I might have to move it closer just to feel better. But one of the characters' backstories, he's a Goliath, and so hopefully that'll come into play. The Dwargar will say something about that to dog him and make him feel like he needs to go there and see what's going on. And the Berserkers are oppressing the Goliaths and using their magic and their Chardalyn to get. They're the cause of the Goliaths' constant vengeful inner fighting. So if they can solve, because the Berserkers are setting up murders that look like the Goliaths are murdering each other, and the clues are in their cave. So see, I'm doing that. I'm attaching this whole thing together because I want it to be because in the book it doesn't really, it just says they just kind of are angry at each other, but it doesn't really say why. But I want there to be like an evil reason the Berserkers are doing it. So down here, the Sunblight, that's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to go all the way. I might have to move this. I just bring it low, bring it in closer. I just think that's too far away. They don't need to go that far away. So I'll probably will bring these things in a little tighter just to feel like they can go there quickly. Now that the map is to better scale in my mind, they can get there much quicker. Okay, so that's my let me just explain up here. So in Cairn Dinaval, the cult is the cult of Malar. I took out the Osmodeus or the devil and put in Malar because that's the same pantheon as Oral. There's four gods in there. And one of my other videos I explained that. But Malar is the god of Hunt who's angry at Oral for what she's doing. So he's sort of giving them power, the knights, the cult there, to defeat the Frostmaidens. But they're evil, so they're gonna hunt. They don't mind. They might even hunt the players, depending on how the diplomacy works out. But they're also oppressing the town. So, but at least it gives the characters sort of a color of the Oral and Malar and the other those little pantheon of gods there. And then Caer Koenig is going to be where the cauldron, it's just going to be a small town, and then they have the issue with the hag and the cauldron. Now, if they want to go all the way up there, and then the Black Cabin, I moved to here, so it's closer to Easthaven. So it makes sense to me that Macradius went to Easthaven to find some undead to then bring back to Black Cabin and some tools. He needed some stuff, so I think that he should also have some tools or something that he bought. And then the Lost Spire, I moved to here, so that it's closer because that's where he got some of his stuff from. That's where he got the info about what he's doing. And this is going to give him a clue as to there's a city, lost city. So I may want to try then to do that a little later and kind of encourage them to do the Dwargar thing or these things. But maybe have Valine follow them or watch them or see them and know what they're doing. But give them a clue that she's around. I don't know, something like that. I'll figure it out, or we'll see how it plays out. As unscripted and as goofy as I am, that's what I'm doing in Easthaven. That's how I, as a DM, am DMing it. Sorry, I'm so confusing, but that's what I'm doing. But anyway, I just hope this has been helpful and give you, ideas and encourages you to work it for yourself, figure out how you want to do it. Create an environment that excites you as a DM, because that's the most important thing. If you're excited about whatever it is you're doing, don't be a jerk or crazy, but have humility in it. But if you're excited about whatever it is you're doing and it makes sense, it logically works, makes sense, and unfolds in a way that makes sense for the players, and you're excited about it, then they're going to get excited. Okay, so that's the simplest way to do it. Don't try to like figure. Oh, I don't know if I'm. Make it so that it works for you, and then it'll work, and it'll work for them as well. And I like to use maps because they help me place factions and people and what they're going to do. Okay. All right. Hope this is helpful, and just wanted to get out another Rime the Frostmaiden video to, just as I'm going along, really. And that's it. Thanks for listening, and subscribe and like or comment. Please comment if you want, and just let me know anything, any questions or comments or nice critiques. All right. Thanks.